This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com. And I did an interview earlier this week where a reporter asked me, what happened? What were you protesting at that WWE event that you were kicked out of back in 2012? And that made me want to do an actual video about that incident where WWE had me kicked out of one of their events, because I actually wasn't protesting at all. This was an event that took place in my hometown of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And we had an event for Great North Wrestling with Scott Steiner a couple weeks later in a town not too far from where WWE was holding this event. So I had the idea of, I'm going to go down there, flyer the WWE show, which is a common thing to do for independent promoters. And because I am a known wrestler around this area, we'll record it and we'll make a little video out of it to promote the event that we're doing with Scott Steiner. So I went down there. I think CM Punk was headlining the event that night. They didn't have a great crowd. It would probably be considered a decent crowd for a house show now, but it was not a great crowd at that time. So I don't know if part of the reason was they didn't want us showing that the crowd was small. I really don't know, but I wasn't there to stir up trouble. I was meeting fans. I think I sang happy birthday to someone. There was actually a surprising number of fans that knew me. Pretty much everybody that was walking up to us knew me. It was actually fun meeting all those fans. And it's funny because I actually worked at that arena as well for years and years and years, doing concert security, even wrestling security, on house shows and at TV tapings WWE has done there. But I was one of the actual useful security guards that was usually down on the floor guarding the barriers and so forth, dealing with the more serious security situations. So I guess the security guards that were ejecting me that day were just like the parking lot security, like really the low-level security people, so they didn't even realize I worked there. And I actually didn't want to remind them that I worked there at the time because I didn't want any heat from that job. Funny enough, they had me kicked out, and it was good. I was really happy that they had me kicked out because, first of all, they gave me my parking back, which I believe was about $13, and I wouldn't have had my parking back if I wasn't kicked out. And second of all, that video was done before the Hannibal TV existed. The Hannibal TV, I didn't start till about 2015. I was working with other YouTube channels prior to that. And the video in 2012 that we posted right after me getting kicked out had over 100,000 views in a matter of days. And not only that, but couple days later, they had me on a morning radio show in Ottawa to discuss that WWE had me kicked out. So I wouldn't have had a free radio appearance on the show that I was able to plug my Scott Steiner event on if they hadn't kicked me out. Lanny Poffo even did a call-in on that show and said that he was on my side, that it was a little ridiculous that they kicked me out. I'll even put that clip up at the end of this video. There was also a newspaper article on it. And we ended up having 1,200 fans at the Scott Steiner event that took place a few weeks later. So I think that they made a mistake having me kicked out of that event because it really added to not only the video views, but the publicity for the event through the radio and newspaper stories I got on myself and on Great North Wrestling in general for getting kicked out of that show.
You had a few opinions as well on Hannibal being kicked off the property at the recent WWE event as well. You saw that video.
Well, I worked for this company from 1985 to 93. And I'm going to say, Hannibal, don't take it personally. That's their modus operandi. They kick off 3 people a day. And it didn't come from the top. It came from whoever the agent is, and that's what they do. As a matter of fact, people always tell me, I live in the Tampa Bay area. They said, you ever want to go to the matches and talk to your friends? And I said, absolutely not. I know how they feel about people that come to visit. They are not friendly, so I'm not their friend.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.